Welcome back. Our next guests are parents to an adorable little girl named Livie, who is 11 months old. Now, Livie has a rare and life-threatening disease, spinal muscular atrophy, or SMA type 1.
Little Livie is up against the clock to raise funds for her life-saving treatment in the US. Her parents, Keith and Karen, join us now. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Good morning. Hi.
Keith, Karen, just tell me, just go back to the beginning when things were a little bit amiss with Livie.
So I suppose it kind of began early on, like when she was 3 months old. She was lifting her head, but not fully, and we're kind of expecting to roll over and stuff like that. And we mentioned it a few times, and they're like, "Look, just keep going. She's thriving. She's like a healthy weight and all that." And just keep going with the tummy time. And then it was just when lockdown started, around 5.5 months, 6 months old, we noticed that she was kind of getting progressively worse, and that's kind of, we got really concerned then. And that's when we knew something was seriously wrong.
Well, I love she's in fine voice this morning. She's died to say hello. Keith, you might take us back to then, when you actually went and, got this looked into, as we heard, it was during lockdown. When you actually brought her to get her looked at and got the diagnosis, what was that like? And it was during lockdown too.
Yeah, so it was just around Easter, 3 months back. Because of hospital social distancing policy, only one of us could go into the hospital on the day.
Wow.
So I dropped Karen off, and Karen was there, I think maybe for an hour before she gave me a call and told me that, it was serious. And maybe an hour later, we got a call from the consultant. I was on speakerphone and Karen was in the room. And of course, Livie, was, as babies do, they get fussy at the worst time. So Livie was getting her food into her and all out there. And the consultant just told us it was spinal muscular atrophy. We'd never heard of it before. Yeah. We didn't know what it meant. We were in utter shock. I think for us it was easily the worst moment of our lives. Utter devastation.
And what a moment for it to happen as well, in terms of, you're sitting out in the car getting the news, Karen's inside, you're separated. It's every parent's nightmare. Going forward, like you said, guys, that you hadn't heard of it, like most of us, we hadn't heard it. You quickly became familiar with it, you read up with it, you spoke to your consultants, and you discovered then that there was a potential treatment available. Tell us about the treatment that is available and what you have to do to get that.
So Livie's condition, it affects the nerves connecting her muscles. It affects all of her muscles that are used for breathing, her neck, her back, her legs, her arms. The nerves are effectively wasting away, and the muscle wasting condition. So it's progressive, which means the longer it's left untreated, the more it will deteriorate. And unfortunately, without any treatment, babies didn't really live past 2 years of age, because the muscles are eventually shut down. We've heard about this treatment called Zolgensma, which is only available in the US. It's a gene therapy which aims to give Livie a functional copy of the gene that she's missing so that her nerves can stay healthy. It's got the most horrible tag of the world's most expensive drug. It's a once-off infusion, and it costs approximately $2.1 million. And when we heard about this, we just, as parents, we couldn't really sleep at night if we didn't do everything we could to help our little girl.
Oh, wow. Did you say $2.1 million it costs? Wow.
Yes.
You've set up a GoFundMe page. How is that doing at the moment? Because it was at 700,000. It's over that now, isn't it?
Yeah, so we fundraised. We've been at it for about 3 months now. We fundraised just over €700,000. We've had an incredible support from people around us, our friends and family, and even people we don't know who've just heard Livie's story and gotten involved. I had nothing but kindness. It's really been a massive lift for us, and I don't know, a lot of your viewers have probably heard of the Do It For Dan campaign.
Yes.
Earlier this year. Little Dan Donner had the same condition Livie has, and they've just made this incredible pledge of €1 million towards her treatment, which brings us to 1.7. So we're just under 300,000 away.
Well done to Niall and Aisling and
Keith
Dan.
and Karen, we were looking at footage there of Daniel O'Donnell, who very kindly donated proceeds from that single that he had out, Don't Let the Music Die. So, as you say, you're getting donations from celebrities, you're getting donations from people that you don't know. As you say, you know, to receive that 1 million donation from that family who know exactly what you're going through, it's quite staggering, but you're still €300,000 short, so you still need people to get on board and to help you.
Yeah, I guess it's still a massive amount of money. We've come so far, and the one thing about this condition is time is of the essence. So the longer it's left, the damage it will do to Livie, particularly around her breathing and her. We had a horrible shock last week where she choked on her food for the first time, which is a sign that the muscles in her throat are getting weaker. So we don't really have as much time as we thought, and we really need to get there and help her before it's too late. So.
And Keith, you have to spend time then in the States when you're there, don't you?
Yeah, it varies depending, I think, on how Livie goes with the treatment, but it could be 2 to 3 months we have to stay there. And with travel, it's obviously not.
Well, that's what I mean.
Great.
It costs more money to do that as well.
Yeah. I think the price of the drug is $2.1 million, and then you have, medical costs on top of that. And we've all heard horror stories about general medical costs in the US when you don't have insurance.
And Karen, in terms of Livie, because as I say, she's in fine voice this morning. How is she day to day? Are there good days? Are there bad days?
There definitely is bad days, but I mean, we're just in awe of her strength. Like, she just, she's fighting this condition, and she just is always her happy little self, even when she's feeling poorly, or even with that choking scare. Like, she was back to form within 20 minutes. Like, she's so unaware of what's going on around her, and like, the poor thing has to wear that mask at night, and it's a dreadful thing. Like, it's noisy, it's scary to her like a little baby. She doesn't understand what she wears it.
No.
And she's
But
just
as you say, Karen, she's fighting it. Listen, we really appreciate you sharing your story.
We wish you the best of luck.
That you get the target that you need. We will, of course, get behind you and put details of the GoFundMe page up across our social media platforms. She is the most beautiful child, and you're great parents. Listen, stay strong, keep us posted, and thanks a million for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
so much.
Right, to donate, check out GoFundMe.com and search for A Better Life for Livie. Right, details are also up on the Ireland AM Facebook page.
We'll take a quick break. Stay with us. We'll be back in 3 minutes.